Is Ursula's strategic move threatening UK's military? Will the UK surrender its defence to Brussels? Is Brussels puppeteering Britain's military?
Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion.
The European Union has set off alarms in political circles, sparking fears of dragging British and American soldiers into potential conflict with Russia. This concern stems from a complex trade agreement known as Permanent Structured Cooperation, which politicians fear might stealthily bind the UK back into EU military entanglements. Politicians are warning that Ursula von der Leyen is sort of masterminding a way to re-encompass the UK in order to build out an army which would then draw soldiers into war, a land war with Russia. We've witnessed an alarming toll of approximately 600 to 700,000 Ukrainian soldiers losing their lives in this seemingly futile conflict. Contrary to the explanations provided, citing issues like money laundering and various other factors, the disconcerting reality is Ursula's endeavour to absorb the military forces of all European Union member states, seeking complete authority over them. Ursula von der Leyen, the key player in this strategic puzzle, is accused of orchestrating a clandestine plot to reintegrate the UK into the EU fold, paving the way for the establishment of a unified army. However, contrary to popular belief, this isn't just about creating an EU army. It's a deeper agenda to seize control over the entire military machinery of EU member states, including the UK, branding it as a defence union. You see the most alarming aspect here. It goes far beyond just military might. Von der Leyen's ambitions extend to Britain's nuclear deterrent and security apparatus, encompassing intelligence agencies like MI5, MI6, and even GCHQ. Imagine Brussels holding the reins of Britain's most sensitive defence mechanisms, a prospect that has raised eyebrows among politicians and defence experts. This maneuver isn't a sudden twist. Warning signals were sounded long ago by former MI6 head Sir Richard Dearlove, cautioning against placing significant British assets under Brussels' control. Despite historical resistance, recent political shifts in the UK's corridors of power have paved the way for potential compromises that could endanger the country's military sovereignty. But why this sudden push? Some suspect a covert attempt to reknit the frayed post-Brexit bonds. While it's not entirely clear if this agreement is intended to replace or bolster NATO, some conservative MPs were lured into the deal, anticipating lucrative defence contracts. However, Ursula von der Leyen's diktat of a single EU-appointed defence contractor for the entire setup dashes their hopes, leaving the UK sidelined in the decision-making process. The technical aspects seem seamlessly aligned thanks to existing systems built by the Royal Navy adhering to NATO standards. This operational compatibility has won the support of bureaucrats and civil servants, despite von der Leyen's denial of any pick-and-choose scenario. There were whispers of a national veto, yet von der Leyen's unwavering stance rules out any UK intervention in defence and security decisions. This resolute stand has irked military heads seeking more funding for potential conflicts, only to be rebuffed by political authorities. The ramifications extend beyond the military domain. Von der Leyen's broader ambitions could potentially drag British reserves, special forces, and even civilian conscripts into unforeseen conflicts. Imagine the UK being led into a situation resembling the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and the implications become starkly concerning. The EU's push to consolidate military power poses a grave risk, potentially compromising the UK's sovereignty and placing its soldiers in scenarios dictated by global agendas. It's a wake-up call to heed historical lessons and safeguard the nation's autonomy against external interest, lest it becomes a pawn in conflicts dictated by forces beyond its borders. So what's likely to follow is a chain reaction, beginning with the UK and potentially leading to US involvement on Ukrainian soil against Russia. The issue in Ukraine is dire. They lack manpower for the conflict, resorting even to conscripting women for the war effort. This situation, reaching such extreme levels, should never have escalated this far. Regrettably, despite the opportunity for Joe Biden and Boris Johnson to mediate peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, The UK seems poised to be drawn into the conflict. The sacrifice may well be the UK's military forces, led by globalist interest, aligning with Ursula von der Leyen's strategy and her influence from the German High Command. The thought of Germany having control over Britain's military arsenal, given historical tensions, doesn't sit well with the British people. They must remember their history. 2 world wars caused by Germany, and let's hope there's not a third one.